Hey everyone, this is Michael with a general reading intended for Cancer Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the month of April 2020. I hope this video finds you relatively well and in good health and spirits, and if it does not, I hope it offers some tools and reflections for whatever it is that you are going through in this very challenging time. I do want to apologize that these videos are coming out a bit late. I have had to kind of shuffle and reprioritize things in my own life, as well as continuing working with my personal clients. So it's just been a lot of shuffling and shifting kind of behind the scenes. I did have some situations come up with family and friends. Everything is okay right now, but I'm kind of in the place where I'm able to shift my priorities, and it felt like what I needed to do. So I really appreciate your patience and understanding with me there. I'm sure a lot of you can also relate. I did actually try recording your video, Cancer, several nights ago, and the file did not have any audio, and this happened to like 4 videos. So if I seem a little depleted or a little drained, it's actually probably more to do with that than anything else. So just kind of keep that in mind. I do feel like with the energy that we are coming into right now, I've actually felt like I do need to kind of do my own shadow work and do my own spiritual processing. You know, I'm still a work in progress myself, and I've actually decided to take a little bit of time off for those of you who've missed that announcement. Just for a week. I'm going to be coming back April 22nd. And I'm going to be offering my personal readings and Reiki sessions at 20% off at that time. So if you're looking for a service, I'm not going to be doing them this week. They'll be available for purchase on the 22nd. And again, at that discount. You can find all my links in the description box down below, as well as links for my social media, where I'm actually posting messages of the day, kind of doing more frequent mini readings, little updates, whatever it is that feels right for the moment. I've been doing that on Instagram and on Facebook, and it's actually been it's been a real gift to be able to do this work and to be able to be of service during this time. So thank you all so much. Really, really thank you. And you know, it's with your likes, shares, comments, and subscribes that I'm able to continue doing this incredible work. And I'm just so grateful for all of you who have supported me, especially those of you who have supported this channel since its very beginning. And let's get on with it, eh? Let's see what the cards have to say for you this month, Cancer. We are going to be doing something a little bit differently. I figured because a lot of us are in quarantine or lockdown or otherwise just have our daily lives a bit disrupted. Our routines are kind of coming to a screeching halt for a lot of us, even if we're still working as healthcare workers or other essential workers. I've decided to switch over the readings this month to the Black Mirror readings. Now, for those of you who are brand new to my channel or missed out on these readings last month, the Black Mirror is actually designed to help us identify patterns in our own life and really check our own perceptions and biases. It's kind of like a shadow work reading, really, and it's all about our psycho and spiritual growth. So this is it's a very personal reading. It's not so much about the people around you, but rather the energy that you are putting in or the patterns that you keep finding yourself in, and kind of the underlying why. So just kind of keep that in mind. And I do actually feel with these readings, the moon sign in particular is actually probably going to be the best reading for people. So you can look at the Black Mirror readings for your moon sign. And the Black Mirror is actually a timeless reading, so you're welcome to look through previous months as well. I have a separate Black Mirror playlist on my YouTube channel. So what are the messages for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? Show me clearly for the month of April 2020. What should we be aware of? Ooh, that's way too many. But these two wanted to come out. Oh, actually, I think we have our spread. Okay, a lot of pentacles. We have the Ace of Swords coming out overall energy here. The reflection is the Ten of Pentacles. Your blind spot is the Knight of Pentacles. And kind of the resolution right now is the Four of Pentacles. So right away with this collective, I'm really getting the sense of a loss of stability. Obviously, in this time, that's pretty much going to apply to everybody. If you are someone who has lost a job, if you are someone whose financial situation has become very uncertain very quickly with this Ace of Swords, it's coming with the reassurance that things are ultimately going to be okay. You do have this Knight of Pentacles here. There is going to be kind of a slow and steady recovery. It might not be as quick as you would like it, and maybe that's kind of what's bringing up a lot of anxiety for you, Cancer. And some of you are really feeling like you just need to hold on financially, hold back resources, and that might not actually be a bad idea. To be completely honest with you, I think if there is some sort of spending habit that you've had, I think it's going to be really important to be mindful of how you're spending your money. But it does feel like ultimately things are going to be okay. I do feel like with this Ace of Swords, something didn't come through the way you had wanted it to, or the way you expected it to. Maybe there was this new opportunity that came up right before we went into lockdown. And then it kind of felt like the door getting slammed in your face. I feel like there's several of you who are receiving some sort of support from family or close friends with the Six of Pentacles. And I'm actually seeing this with the Ten of Pentacles as well. But it doesn't feel great. It's almost like this feeling of being indebted. Some of you may be afraid to ask for help because of that, because a lot of the time in our culture, at least in the US, when we're given something, there's this expectation of reciprocation. And a lot of us have been conditioned to believe that when someone gives us something, we have to give something back. Or we become skeptical of it. We become wary. Am I being manipulated? Am I going to have to, what am I going to have to do to pay back this person? Why are they doing this? What do they want out of this? Someone is really trying to support you, or the universe is really trying to support you in this venture, but you're not trusting it. Some of you have been wanting to make this change for a while. And with the disruption we're experiencing, you might feel like everything has just kind of fallen through. I don't think it has, though. What you're not seeing is that it's coming. You are still building towards something here, some sort of stability that you actually want, but you don't necessarily see it, because this Ace of Swords actually did kind of come out in the reverse. I don't always read reversals in this spread, but it's like you did not recognize that you still have this long-term abundance, this long-term plan. And I think it's really important for you to kind of hold on to that vision. And with this Four of Pentacles showing up as your advice, it's actually holding on to the things that matter to you. And holding on to this vision. Things might feel a little scary. Ooh. That's too many. I don't know why these cards are all over the place today. There's a lot of messages that are trying to come through. But these feel relevant to this situation. We have the Ace of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, and the Five of Wands. there's a lot of like conflict and a lot of tension right now, but honestly, Cancer, there's this new opportunity here for you for sure. And there are people who are trying to support you, and the universe is actually trying to support you. It's been trying to redirect you, I think. And you might not have seen it that way. I'm getting a lot of family issues or a lot of issues with close friends. Kind of this conflict that's been coming up. But overall, when we really look at this Four of Pentacles, we see this guy who's really clutching, holding on to his assets, holding on to what he cares about, and he's guarding his heart with that pentacle there that he's holding. But when we look in the background, everything is relatively okay, actually. And obviously, this is a general reading. It's not going to resonate for all of you, but I'm really seeing this theme of, like, being so concerned. It's almost like this hypervigilance. You may not have even lost stability yet. You're afraid of it. Although I think a lot of you have. You have lost your sense of stability, and that's okay. This is actually part of a manifestation that you've been making. And I know that seems crazy. I'm actually seeing the Judgment card at the bottom of the deck, which is making a lot of sense for what I'm about to say. Regardless of how we look at the virus, how we look at this pandemic, I choose to focus on the spiritual directive behind all things in these readings. And even in a bad situation, there's a reason it is allowed to occur, because there is this divine order to things. And we've been living lives on this planet that have been very destructive. We have been working jobs that we've been slaving at. We've been losing ourselves in relationships that haven't been good for us. We've felt powerless in our lives and felt like we couldn't make the changes that we so desperately wanted to make. And with all of this underlying desire, we wanted a change. And we have literally brought our daily lives to a stop. And I'm not gonna lie, Cancer, things are gonna get crazy. Like, they're already crazy, but there's gonna be, even after this pandemic is over, even after lockdown is over, we're not gonna be out of the woods. We kind of know that. I think you know that at this point. But that doesn't mean that your whole world, your whole life falls apart just because the world is experiencing a lot of shift and a lot of change. I think it's been really helpful for me to look at this time and kind of compare it to the past. You know, we've had people who have lived through wars, people who have lived through depressions, people who have lived through challenging times. And even though we know those times were extremely difficult and there's a lot of hardship, there's always going to be people who manage to find happiness, who manage to find something secure and stable amidst all of this. And to be honest with you, Cancer, I think what you have wanted has been very external. And with the Ten of Pentacles, more than it representing physical wealth and physical or financial stability for me, it represents a feeling. It represents a togetherness. It's not just about having all the money in the world. It's having the family, having the dog, having the connection. You're seeing that you really want that. And you may not want all of those things. It's going to be different for all of you, but it's like whatever it is that feels like home, that's going to be very, very important to you, Cancer. And with the Ten of Pentacles, kind of coming back to what I was saying, we've had people who lived through the Great Depression. We've had people who lived through wars. And they still manage to have a sense of security from the people around them. And I think that's going to be a really important thing for you to focus on now, and finding these people if you don't have them. And I'm going to be honest, it feels like things are out of balance there. And I don't quite know how to say this in a way that doesn't feel a little pointed, but I feel like it needs to be said. You've been so focused on trying to live a life for you that I think you've kind of lacked this, what can I do for other people? What can I do for the people that I care about? And you've just been kind of on this hamster wheel in a way. It's like maybe you were just stuck. Maybe you really couldn't focus on anything else. But you're really being asked to reshift your priorities and your sense of where stability actually comes from. I do feel like long term you are going to be shaken in a way where you're going to be approaching something that's going to provide you a lot of stability. But I feel like that's kind of down the road. I don't think that's in the month of April this is going to happen for you. Right now, it's you kind of letting go to this idea of how things have to look, how your stability has to look. And I feel like there might be a lot of conflict around you. But it's almost like you're making this offering here as this Page of Pentacles. Maybe even offering an apology. And it's kind of like this energy of honey is sweeter than vinegar. If you're coming in with a genuinely sweet and pure intention and being like, I'm sorry, 9 times out of 10, that person is going to be like, I'm sorry too. I'm sorry I behaved this way. And this feels like a family situation for a lot of you. Could be friend, could be a lover, could even be a work situation. But stability is found together. And you're really seeing that now. And if you've really struggled to have stability in your life, which honestly I know a lot of you have, it's because you've been so focused on building your own life up that you haven't really been able to turn your attention to the people around you. And sometimes you may have been in a phase where you really did need to do that. I'm not here to judge this. I'm just telling you now that this priority is shifting. Your ideals are shifting. It's time to shift gears. And to really focus on building the things that actually make you happy and not the things you think are going to make you happy. This month is going to really clarify a lot of that. And the life you thought you wanted might not actually be what brings you happiness. So be open to this idea because that's going to be shifting. And some of you may still try holding on to this. And things are going to be a little messy with this 5 of Wands. There's going to be a lot of agitation in the month of April because we have Mercury going through Aries. There may be this like fight or warrior energy. But you can bring the peace, Cancer. And this is all part of a shift that we've actually been wanting. And I'm not going to say that we're going to come through it at the end of the quarantine, at the end of lockdown, and the world is going to be the world we've always wanted. No, we have to build it. It's this judgment energy again, at the bottom of the deck. We're being called to rise above. And that's a choice. And you may have been doing all of this work because you felt like you needed to do that in order to be lovable, in order to get the affection or connection that you so craved. And amidst all of this shifting, you're going to realize what's actually important to you and what isn't. And what you were doing just because you thought you needed to. And it's like this energy of coming clean. I see that. I see it. With the Page of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. And, you know, this isn't really what this reading is about. But honestly, Cancer, I get this sense that someone is trying to support you. Or at least the universe is trying to support you, giving you some sort of money. There could be money coming in for you in April, or some sort of offer, or someone who wants to run errands for you, or just help you in some material way. Or just be very stabilizing. And you might feel a little conflicted about taking it. Because there's this part of you that's really felt like you can't have freedom and you can't have connection, but I think you can actually have both here. Because the things you thought would give you freedom and happiness won't necessarily, and you are going to be building towards the things that actually give you joy. And that's still coming. It's still coming. Don't give up. Don't let go of your happiness just because things feel unstable. Keep looking for the things that make you feel inspired, that make you feel better. And stay aware, you know, of what's going on in the world too. It's not about turning a blind eye. But it's like, just because the world is in disarray and falling apart, again, it doesn't mean that you have to too. And those are all the messages I'm getting for you right now, Cancer. I do hope that this reading was helpful. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below where you're really feeling this tension. I'd be curious to hear. Again, all of my links are down below. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care.